Hey there, welcome to Red State Update. My name's Jackie Bros.
Folks, people, it's Dunlap. You know me. You know how I am.
They might not if the first time somebody,
they know me.
Well,
They know me or somebody like me.
why do you got to say your name at all then?
I won't. Let's start over. Okay, you introduce yourself.
Well, no, if you... How come they ain't going to know who you are and they don't know who I am? Tell me the damn difference between that. What are you trying to say?
Star presence.
What?
Is the two words I would use.
You ain't ever been on a computer or a TV or anything or wherever without me having to sit beside you. I remember because I hadn't enjoyed hardly any of it.
You know how when there's a little flower and a photographer says, I want to take a picture of this beautiful flower, its portrait. And they go, well, how can I make this flower more beautiful? Oh, I know. I'll throw a bunch of old trash next to it.
All right.
So people will say, oh, wow, that flower really stands out against that old trash. It was beautiful in the first place. But now, compared to that, it's breathtaking.
Yeah.
So anyway, everybody, this is and my good friend Jackie Bros. Let me introduce you to him. You may not know who he is.
Sack of trash, Jackie Bros. Sack of trash, yeah.
That's him.
Yep.
Sack of trash. Sack of trash.
All right.
Everybody, welcome to the Red State Update podcast. I hope you enjoy that little bit of levity right up at the top. That's what we're going to put, all the levity at the top, and the rest of the podcast for the next hour or so is just going to get more and more devastating. The news is just going to just descend into, by the end of it, if we've done our job, you will be a puddle of hopeless, depressed, just a lump of flesh beaten.
Right. But you should also make it clear that's like it is everywhere, not just here on our thing. We may be the only people offering any levity, if you want to call it that. I just, kind of like him calling me trash. But
I mean, it was levity to me.
Well, all right, but I'm saying if it's downhill from here, that's everywhere, all the time, no matter what you're looking at, listening to, whoever it is talking. It's like, well, guess what? I mean, it's like this coronavirus. Guess what, everyone? Today it's worse.
It's sort of like with Trump. When we haven't been... we ain't done one of these since he had his funny interviews where he keeps talking about that test he took. And he won't let anybody, he just could, over and over again, tells you how hard the test was. And as he talks, repeating himself, describing the test, you can tell the test is not that hard. But the fact that he keeps saying it over and over again makes you think that he needs another one of them tests. It's amusing at first. The levity is right up top.
Yeah, and because he's a joke. Whether he's talking about that or stuffing Windex in him or whatever it is, he's a joke. But then, see, that levity is gone immediately once you realize he has federal agents. In Portland, where else now? It's Albuquerque, Seattle, Chicago soon, I guess, if I ain't already there by now.
Well, yeah, all the Democrat-led cities, especially if a woman is running it, and he wants to get in there pretty quick. That's the guy. That's the same guy. The same man, what was it? Person, woman, man, camera, TV. That guy. Talking to Fox's Dr. Mark Siegel. By the way, that was the second interview. He did one with Chris Wallace on Fox. it's crazy that he has terrifying, embarrassing interviews, and then he has to do another terrifying, embarrassing interview to distract from the first one. We've forgot about Chris Wallace because the second one was so bad. So I guess he's like, mission accomplished.
This is the mindset of the president, the most powerful man in the world. This is a mindset. He does the interview with Chris Wallace, then sits and watches it, God knows how many times with Chris Wallace, watches it over and over again, decides that the next interview he does, I did not cover that test well enough with Chris Wallace. I have really got to make this clear. He determined that.
That was what he went back for. He didn't go back about saying, who you going to rename Fort Bragg after? Al Sharpton? Which is just the least current racist. It's almost like he was doing All in the Family Live. It's almost that dated of a racist reference. Not about get me the mortality rate where he's asking people to get him. I was treated unfairly, that he's right about everything eventually. He won't leave office. Those were not the things he went back to address. What he needed to make sure people knew was the order of person, woman, man, camera, TV. By the way. And then he sends, federal troops into America. He invades America.
He also, by the way, while he's invading America, don't forget, he's also insisting that you all put your children in school in the middle of a raging pandemic that gets worse literally every damn day.
Sure, I trust him. Of course. He's the one I trust on this. His own son can't go to school. I know we don't make fun of the kids on this show, and this is not making fun. This is feeling sorry for Barron Trump, who may be stuck in the same house as his father. I feel sorry for Barron Trump.
Bless his heart, yeah.
Bless his heart. This is the same guy who's telling you to put your kids back in school, who wishes, how you say her name? Ghislaine Maxwell?
Sex trafficking woman, Epstein sex trafficking woman known for abusing children, sex trafficking, rape, on and on and on. Thank goodness she's behind bars. I think that's in a step in the right direction. That's where she obviously belongs.
Yeah.
But while she's in there, I hope she's doing okay. I hope she's doing well. President of the United States. And I always think, everybody always says this over and over again. We're so sick of saying it, we don't even say it anymore, thank goodness. But if Obama had wished a sex traffic, it doesn't exist in the same world. Reagan couldn't have got away with that. And God knows, we all loved Reagan. But had Reagan done that, he'd have had to say something about the next, I shouldn't have, or whatever.
I should not have wished the sex trafficking woman well. I shouldn't have done it.
She was somebody else. That would have worked for Reagan. It'd be like, now that makes sense. Which would
Ghislaine Maxwell. Oh.
See, that would work for about half of the Trump people that believing that he forgot something. That's going to work. Hell, might have worked for me. Probably not, because he's on video dancing with her and him and hanging out their picture after picture. They're obviously good friends. So if you're a good friend with a sex trafficker, what do? You wish them well.
If you're good friends with Trump, he will not remember you if you go to jail until he gets to pardon you. Or, as in the case of Ronald Reagan, until the Reagan people say, you got to quit raising money off. The headline says, quit raising money off Ronald Reagan's legacy, Reagan Foundation to Trump and RNC. But if you read the article, it's even funnier than that, because what they're doing is for $45, they're selling you a commemorative set of two gold-colored coins with an image of Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump shaking each other's hands. The coins were mounted with a 1987 photograph of Reagan and Trump shaking hands in a White House receiving line, the type of fleeting contact that presidents have with thousands of people a year. But there's a story. Have you ever heard this story that the Trump people have about Reagan, Jackie?
What story is that?
Well, when Reagan shook Trump's hand in his line,
yeah,
the legend is, which is also, this legend is bullshit.
Well, yeah, if it come from Trump, anybody, yeah, of course, yeah.
But you may have heard it. It's pretty famous. It's so Reagan, upon meeting Trump, said, for the life of me, I have no idea where I am. No, as a Reagan, he said, for the life of me, and I'll never know how to explain it, when I met that young man, I felt like I was the one shaking hands with the president.
No, he didn't. He wouldn't even have said that by accident. No.
And in 1987, I'm sure it was more like, who was that? That's Donald Trump, sir. Okay, great. Who was that? Donald. That was Donald Trump, sir.
Yeah.
Mommy, give me a napkin. Because his hand was gross after shaking.
So what? They got a coin. The Reagan. Who's in charge of Reagan? By the way, that's good. Do all presidents have license? He was a movie star first. So I want to know how this works.
I think you get, when you die, this says Reagan Foundation. So maybe, I guess there's somebody that like when somebody controls Marilyn Monroe's image, I'm sure. I guess it's a little different for the president.
President, different, because people, make a mask of you every year.
Yeah, that's just because you watch that movie every year.
What's that?
Surf Robbers.
Yeah. That's reason I don't think they need to sell them, because they put them out in the street. That's exactly what's going to happen. You're telling people to rob banks, make it look fun like that, put on the president's face and have a big time, surfing everything else, whatever it is, but no.
So the president is sending federal troops into your city, listener, probably before it's all over. It's scary enough just that they're, you can't tell who they are, right, Jackie? They're unmarked troops.
Well, they ain't got the name. They ain't got the name on it. They ain't got no badge, no number, no nothing. And the car they put you in ain't got no tag, ain't got no nothing. Lord knows what they say to you. Probably nothing. Who knows? I don't know.
They don't want the people in charge of the cities don't want you there. Seattle mayor doesn't want them there. Portland mayor, who got tear gassed, doesn't want him there. Mark Meadows defends him. This guy, Chad Wolf, which is, I guess if your name is Chad, you can try to save it at the end by adding Wolf. But your name is still Chad.
Wow.
So he's the acting head of the Department of Homeland Security. So some people are like, can he even do this? All he's supposed to be is the guy that goes on TV and defends it for Trump to watch.
Now, this is a man, if I remember, my memory is correct here. I'm up in age, but I believe he's the same man that said, take all the children away when they come from over the border. Just take the children away from all the families. Separate the families. Take the children. We'll figure out what to do with them later. But yeah, just make sure you separate. Tear them children, babies out of those their mother's arms.
Yeah, you gotta use it. It's separate family unit.
Oh yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah. And he was also under. He was a lieutenant of the. What was the woman's name? She was awful too. That's where he comes from.
She gone.
Yeah. He's running the show. He's great. He's really getting a lot done. Yeah, he's just deploying special units to defend our national treasures from rioters. He says things like that all the time. He's great. If you see him, tell him, good job. You're really making things better. You're really quelling these protests. I mean, that's what they're doing, right, Jackie? They just want to.
They want to make TV ads and stuff. This is what this is what they're all about. Now you got everything this president does. At the end of most of it, a television needs to be involved in it. Him holding up a Bible, doing something, whatever it may be. He wants to put all these.
He did that, right? They cleared. DHS cleared them, the protesters out of the way for the Bible. Same group.
Special police. That's how they got started. Yeah.
He's been saying they were going to do it this whole time, and now they finally started doing it.
They're doing it. Yeah. So he wants to put these, look at America. He's riling it up. Now, granted, what's riling it up is systemic racism in the country for years and years and years. I understand that. So there are situations, but him going there, making it worse. And more people keep showing up every night. So basically, it's just building and building. That he going and starting this in all these places.
And now you got wall of moms. You got wall of vets.
Yep.
I guess next you're going to have like wall of TikTok dogs. What are they? So, but you do have Fox on. Fox is falling right into line. This is great because for Fox, because you get footage of quote unquote riots, and you get like military. I mean, it looks like a damn Netflix movie. It looks like a damn big budget, not one of them cheap ass Netflix movies. But like one that they spent a lot of money on. It still somehow looks like a cheap-ass Netflix movie with like Thor in it or something. So they get all this on there, and then they get Maria Bartiromo asking Chad Wolf, why can't you just arrest the leadership in Portland because of their ignoring what's really happening on the ground? But I'm pretty sure she would say, just arrest the city council, arrest the mayor.
Go in and just take out take out every liberal city politician and set up shop.
And this is the new caravan, right? I don't know if they actually want to set up shop. I mean, I know they don't give a fuck about the protesters, but I don't know if they actually.
Watch your mouth, but these are going to be ads you're going to be looking at.
It's
which
ads.
They already are. It don't make any sense. Somebody show me on computer. They're showing this and saying this is Biden's America or whatever. Well, he ain't even, he's in the basement. You're the one tells me every day he's in the basement. How's this his damn America?
Because Trump seems like such an outsider to his followers that they still think he ain't really the president, which, honest to God, that's a mindset I wish I had. Where I ain't really president. Can you imagine? If he gets in there, he's really going to clean things up. But he ain't.
Once a deep state lets him alone, he'll get to work. But first, he's got to, he got to get all these cities straightened up. He got to, 4 damn years. He still, there ain't ever been a press conference without Kaylen, whatever her name is, mentioning Obama. Well, I'd like to say right now, before you start telling me this, let me tell you what Obama did. You've been in there for 4 damn years. Of course, they've been doing that before they got in. They're still doing it now. They're going to keep on doing it until hopefully they're gone.
To hear Kaylee McCaley tell it, Obama canceled Paw Patrol himself.
What is it?
Paw Patrol?
Well, I don't know what it is.
Sort of like TikTok dogs, but
I like
younger.
Dogs. That's all I know is dogs. But yeah,
I'm going to say you'd like Paw Patrol.
Well, if they got dogs on it, yeah, paws. Yeah,
it's a little propaganda-ish, but we're working things out.
Well, if you're working things out and you're using cute little dogs, I'm going to say, I support you.
everybody thinks that there is this stuff happening. They think that the cities are overrun with violence. Not that they don't. They think the feds are coming in to put it down. Not that the feds are coming in to stir it up. They don't give a shit. They think all this stuff is happening. So it is an ad. It's an ad. Just them talking about it on Fox is already the ad. I mean, the ad is it being on Fox. Once they present it like that, that's the ad. I guess just an afterthought to actually cut an ad together. If your granny's talking about it on Facebook, that's the ad. So things are going great. This isn't scary at all. Plus the fact that he's saying that they could send up to 75,000 more federal agents.
Oh, it's going so well. They're raring to go. This is really something else. The ratings on this.
Yeah.
On these riots. Never seen anything like it.
So on top of that, on top of the whole thing, it's an ad for him. It's also a way for him to embarrass. It's just a way for him to punish people. Democratic mayors, he gets to punish them by sending people, by invading their cities with the Department of Homeland Security, with an unlawful head. I'm not really 100% sure they can actually do this legally anyway. They're just disappearing people. They're either disappearing people, which is like sinister and gross, or they're just extra people firing tear gas and hitting people with sticks. Like that big old veteran boy who got, that feels like it was 9 years ago.
You showed me that. Yeah, he didn't flinch. That man, that's tough right there, yeah. Well, what he's doing with all this, he's just trying to scare people more of these riots than the pandemic. Here's what you really need to be scared of. Yes, we're all going to die. The thing, definitely. There are more deaths. Put your kids in school. But what you need to be looking at is this, it's scary knowing thinking hippies or whatever running the streets.
Yeah, it's also better than...
And getting sick. And possibly dying.
Distracting people from Black Lives Matter and trying to make it about scary Antifa rioters. It is a combo. I think he gets the combo race and whatever, the Antifa thing. This is all the new caravan. But people were saying, yeah, Black lives do matter. A lot of racist people were going, maybe Black lives do matter. I'm not saying we reached the mountaintop. I'm just saying things are getting marginally better if you have to pull back from attacking Black Lives Matter and change how you're presenting who you're attacking. It may be basically the same thing, but if they've changed their message to take Black people out of it, that says something about maybe the country's not much better, but at least more people in the country realize how racist Trump is.
Yeah.
They may not realize how racist they are or how racist Paw Patrol is, but they realize how racist Trump is, and it's going to hurt him in the election. Racists are waking up to this. That's a problem for Trump. That's why it's Antifa. That's why the federal agents are out there now.
Well, that's what I know. It's Trump and all this. Trump, he's okay. Obama, Jade Helm, he was taking over. He was running drills. He was sending people. He was planning. He was basically planning and practicing. Everybody's mind blew up over this. He was practicing to do what the actual president now. He's doing it. He's doing that. And he don't give a damn.
Now, these people don't give a damn. You can say now they don't give a shit.
Nope.
It's about them, not about the country, not about anything they used to say. It's not about dress. Obviously, it don't have nothing to do about America. They never needed to rent all them Tea Party outfits. They didn't need to dress up.
All the Bulls hockey used to say about the country, and I'm going to say this to all so-called Christians, all of them praising God and all this stuff. This is doing it for he's thinking or wishing well, I should say, sex trafficker. He's on record saying God knows things that it would make you just pass out and you all this is what you want. This is all okay with you. Everything it does.
And not pass out in the Holy Spirit. Pass out from like Jesus. What?
Who said
not Jesus? Yes.
Can't even imagine. Can't even imagine somebody saying that. Yeah.
As long as we're talking about hypocrites, libertarians, a lot of people don't give a shit about gun nuts, don't really give a fuck. Rand Paul, he did finally come out and say something like, well, there's no place for federal agents. But even when he says that, he asked it like almost exactly the same time. He was like, we need to impeach Governor Cuomo of New York. I guess to throw out some nonsense for the front page of the newsletter. And in the back of his zine, he's like, I'm not sure if they should be doing this in them vans. So he's great also. Just if you see him, tell him, great job also. Just really killing it.
No.
Not killing, but you know.
That's the worst.
So ads. Best case scenario, it's that the president, the deranged president of the United States of America, person, man, camera, man, TV, it is hard. He is sending federal troops to attack, harass, and disappear protesters who are still protesting Black Lives Matter, by the way. I mean, this is a racial justice protest movement.
Indeed it is. And everyone that gets caught up in this, like the gentleman you mentioned that served in the Navy, they beat the hell out of him. I think it broke his arm. But when he went on TV, he reminded people what this was about. He said, I don't want to talk about me. We won't talk about systemic racism and what black people have to suffer in this damn country. So, yes, thank goodness for gentlemen like him keeping the focus where it should be. Credit, there should be focus on the damn president sending troops out.
That's why it's so. And then all this, we're talking about this, and what could also be happening, maybe happening at the same time as what we're trying to figure out is happening, is they're just getting ready for the election. So in the America's biggest cities, run by Democrats, with the largest protest movement, the people who would get out on the street if Trump stayed in office, it seems like they're just installing federal troops there.
In liberal cities, but yeah.
I mean, the big cities are liberal cities.
They all are, yeah.
So they're just going to have 75,000 federal agents in U.S. cities, huh? I don't want to sound like a crazy liberal person. But when you say that the guy Trump installed as head of the post office, the new person who just came on, what's his name? Louis DeJoy. And there's all these reports about how he fucked the mail up.
Watch him out, but he's going to shut the U.S. mail down. Yeah, he's going to make it either not work at all or barely work.
They're already slowing it down. There's all these reports. These are anecdotal on Twitter, but so many people on Twitter are saying that who run small mail, businesses. They conduct the mail like everything's slow. It's taking 1 or 2 weeks. People are worried about their ballots. People are worried about vote by mail. Like he's only been in there for a little bit now.
Yeah. And
he's already screwing it up. He's already, and then on top of that, the damn foreign interference that Biden, there was a report this week, Biden and the Democrats are warning, like, let's make sure we don't sleep on foreign interference, and nobody's going to do anything about it because of the Republicans who don't give a shit, but they have to keep sounding the alarm. That's just a handful of things that
stuff we know about from the last time. Now, listen, I don't want to sound like crazy conspiracy, all this and all that. And, the polls look really good for Biden. They look terrible for Trump, what they do. All these polls from all battleground states, new battleground states like Georgia, Texas, all no. Now, I don't doubt any of that. I hope I'm encouraged. I hope that is true. But name me one situation since this administration has been in office. Name one time where they adhered to the laws, to the Constitution, to everything that we base this evidently failed ass experiment, excuse my language. When have they ever done anything? No, they keep breaking the law over and over again. The GOP, sit back, let them do it. They're there to bust it on through. Some of it looks difficult for them, like, oh, why they have to do this and this. Some of it looks like, well, hell, let's just keep it, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Why do you think he's going to, and I know he already said, I ain't going to leave. I ain't gonna leave why that. Of course, everybody wants to see that. If he ain't surrounded by these federal troops, or they gonna keep people from voting, or they gonna be there? I don't know. Hell, I ain't saying he's gonna do all this. What I'm saying is, I ain't seen him go by the book law of any kind whatsoever since he took a damn job.
We know he likes to punish people. He's punishing the mayors of the cities. Why would he not punish America? He punished Michael Cohen. They let him out of jail. Coronavirus. They put him back in jail. And that was just punishment. Court said that. Court said they admitted that they were punishing New Yorkers by not letting them do these pre-screening airport measures programs. Right? Yeah, that was. We were getting back at New York. They admit this stuff. They did. Well, what about the Supreme Court? Everybody's mad at all conservatives. Mad at John Roberts. He keeps siding with the liberals, but they ignore the DACA. They're not supposed to be trying to outlaw DACA anymore. They don't give a shit. They do whatever they want. They ignore court rulings. They punish people who they're mad at.
You get fired if you even think about going up against them. They wipe you out. You're gone. Vindman, Colonel Vindman, on and on. All those people involved in that who did nothing but the damn job that they, swore to do.
You they tried to squash documentaries like this is immigration documentary coming on Netflix. They got behind the scenes. They got in just a lot of these detention centers working with a lot of ICE agents. They saw all sorts of supposed to be horrifying shit.
I can't imagine.
The government's tried to shut down the movie, get Netflix to pull it, edit stuff out. So, and we know they lie about everything. We know that they ignore court rulings. We know that they're driven by revenge. They lie about, Stephen Miller lied about his grandmother dying. His grandmother died of COVID. She was 97. But her death certificate says has COVID on there. And Stephen Miller's got that uncle. I was going to say he was liberal. I don't know if he's liberal. He
just grew up around Stephen Miller. He just don't like him.
He can be like, shit.
Everybody does,
I mean, I like to think that if Stephen Miller was my grandson or my nephew, I'd still be like, no. I mean, what did Hitler's family think about him? Nobody's perfect. Anyway, Stephen Miller's grandpa. So they lie about everything. They're driven by revenge. We have no idea. Part of me thinks that Trump would just get exhausted. He likes to fight. I mean, the only thing he wants to do is fight. He wants praise and he wants to fight.
That's why people voted for him.
Meanwhile, nobody's doing anything about the pandemic. Coronavirus.
Nothing's getting
Stephen
done.
Miller's grandmother left and right.
It's getting worse literally every day. More people dying every single day.
Cafeteria worker in the White House.
Cafeteria worker in the White House. She's what number of people has gotten sick in the White House now? 4, 5, 6? I can't keep count. If he can't keep it out of his own damn house, how's he going? I mean, it just.
I'm sure Stephen Miller brings his lunch. He goes to the park every day and catches a pigeon. Just not a lot going on. Stephen Mnuchin. I never know. Every time I come to the CH in his name, I hesitate. I don't know if it's a ch or a sh. Mnuchin took a hardline Sunday against the $600 increase in unemployment benefits, saying it just wouldn't be fair to use taxpayer dollars to pay more people to sit home than they would working and get a job. All those jobs, Jackie, out there.
All those jobs, yeah, they're pay cuts. Yep, on and on.
Yeah, taxpayer money. The taxpayers, they paid the money out of money. $600 ain't shit. I've spent $600 at McDonald's. $600. I can't give people $600. And the fact that look, okay, I don't want to sound like a paranoid conspiracy theorist, and I don't want to sound like Bernie Sanders, liberal Tennessee nephew. It's at some point I think people are waking up to different parts of the story being wrong. Everybody's not waking up to the same part. Some people are like, I don't think that police officer should be hitting that lady that way. Or some people are like, oh, black people, they were right about a lot of it. And some people are like, oh, Trump's been full of shit this whole time. And then some people are saying, if I make more money being unemployed than I do working my ass off, that's not my fault. That's the job people's fault.
Yeah.
That's not, the government ain't doing nothing bad if they give me, it's the people I work for every day.
Now, and don't you worry, Mitch McConnell's got their back. That's a big thing about him passing this. He got to make sure you can't sue that boss when they force you to go back to work. You can't sue that school when your child gets sick. You can't, no litigation.
Who's got time to file a lawsuit when you're busy working 3-4 different sickness-giving jobs? Yeah, things are going great. He doesn't want to, he creates problems that don't exist so they can get Fox News stories about them, like riots and Antifa. And there were a few things. Sure, let's talk about these statues. Oh, well, let's have a discussion. Let's take them down. Let's de-escalate things. But he's not a leader. He wants to create a problem from which there is either no problem or a problem a leader could fix. Pandemic. Can't be bothered about that.
No. Just get your kids back in school. I'm going to cancel my convention. We ain't going to do that. It's too dangerous. But make sure you get all your youngins, get them in school.
Talking about him doing the crazy man talking to the doctor on Fox, but TV person, man, woman, which is it?
Camera.
He is screwing them too. They can't even have a convention. They should have been planning for this.
Yeah, it's chaotic. He already moved it. He just moved it to this place not that long ago. It was
no reason.
Yeah, it's just crazy as hell. It's like everything else he does. I'm sure a lot of people lost some money and everything else.
It cost him money. Yeah. Cost him money in North Carolina, cost him money in Florida. He needs to do well in them states. Either he's going to cost you money, he's toys with you.
Literally said, I saw it. I happened to see him. I don't look at him that much, but I happened to see on TV when he was saying that. Just can't do it. We just can't do it. You're making people put the children in school. That's just, that's fine. We really you just can't, just not going to happen that way.
He ain't going to throw out the first pitch either. That's a shame.
Oh, well,
I wanted to see that.
I saw that. I didn't see it. I read it that he's too busy. What does he call it? The China virus. He's too busy dealing with that. I thought he was golfing with Brett Favre, but he says he's too busy.
Yeah.
How many real reasons? First off, he got to throw like he's got to be embarrassing. First and foremost, everybody knows that. Big old heavy get out there. Mm-hmm. He gonna look stupid if he has to wear, just whatever. He ain't gonna look good.
No,
Fauci,
he's not.
I was embarrassed for Fauci doing it. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things people do for whatever reason.
Don't do it. Don't sing a national anthem at a baseball game unless you know. I mean, you can't even. Don't listen to your mama. Like people got to tell you can do it. You may be a good singer, but you can't sing that song. Don't do it, and don't throw out the first pitch. Nobody ever looks good.
So first and foremost, that's probably the reason is just that. But then you got all the baseball players kneeling. He can't be near that now, can he?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I guess he thought he'd distract people by being racist at the last part of that tweet, which I think works for him a lot of times. I'll start off with the bad news, and then I'll be racist at the end of it. He's great.
The people that love the racism, you got to wait for it. It's coming.
If you see Trump, just tell him he's doing a great job. He's really just unbelievable, really. Unbelievable. We have people, lost some people this week, Jackie. John Lewis.
When we lose people like him in these times, it hurts that much harder. It does for me anyway. Where are you going? We need you now more than ever. Bless his heart, like he didn't do enough already with his life.
And he had, not that he needs Tennessee connections to talk about him, but he did. He went to school here in Nashville, up in at Fisk. Went to seminary up there, and of course the sit-ins. So I believe we're recording this on Sunday. I believe
he's laying in state Alabama capital, I believe. Yeah. While we talk here, yeah.
We lost Regis Philbin, Jackie. Remember how we always wanted to just basically what we're doing now. He'd come out and he just had the newspapers and he'd sit there and he'd go, look at this. I guess we're finally doing that.
I'm glad he gone. Don't have to look at it, but I like everybody like Regis a little bit. You got to like him a little bit.
Jackie, do you know John Saxon?
I know him. I recognized it. Didn't know the name right off the hand. And somebody pointed him out, and I don't mean that. Just because he was in everything. Literally, if you saw a movie in the 70s or a TV show, you saw him once or twice. I always remember as a bad guy. This is not politically correct, which it shouldn't be. It's a little, what do you call, problematic. He played the bad guy Mexican in that Marlon Brando movie, horse movie.
Was Marlon Brando white in it? Was he playing white?
He was white, but at some point in the movie, he wants to look Mexican, and he paints himself up. Yeah.
Okay. Luckily, nobody cares about that movie. What's the name of it?
I just remember Appaloosa. I just remembered it. I don't mean to like. He was on the Kung Fu Bruce Lee. He was in the famous one of his.
So I guess you could get on Twitter and be like, Appaloosa's canceled, but people would just be like, what is?
I think it won. People are actually talking about it because I remember seeing it. I watch Westerns, we good and bad. That's what I used to watch. But I think people are talking about it now because he won an award for it. That's the one that wouldn't that be something? He was hoping everyone had forgotten that movie, but when they write, he won the Gold Globe for hell.
And he was in Murfreesboro?
I didn't know he was here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, but that's where he passed on.
if anybody knows the reason why, I'd heard that maybe he lived in Murfreesboro, maybe he lived in Brentwood, up near Nashville, outside of Nashville.
You'd say Nashville, then you wouldn't say Murfreesboro. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if he's in the hospital here or whatever. But I've heard. I think I heard somebody said lived here, but did a lot of. I mean, he was always good.
And Charlie Daniels has passed on, but his whoever runs his Twitter, I guess it's Team Charlie Daniels, has been, or maybe his family, I don't know. People have been continuing to tweet Charlie Daniels tweets like Benghazi ain't going away on his Twitter feed. If you follow Charlie Daniels' Twitter, you know that he would often, he tweeted about Benghazi every day.
Every day.
Up until his death a couple weeks ago. You know, that's like if your crazy uncle dies and the whole family gets together and just commits to continuing to be publicly racist in his name. Like, you don't have to. Like, RIP doesn't mean racist in public. It means you can turn the Twitter off. You'd think they'd be relieved. Ah, shit, thank God. No, they're like, hey, do you know his password? I got it. Somebody might have forgot about Benghazi today, and I need to let them know that it ain't going away. Death doesn't mean double down. It gives you an escape. It gives you an out. Like, you don't have to continue. Maybe he wanted it. It doesn't matter. He's not here. You can shut that shit down.
We can just hope whenever the time comes for the current president of the United States, when his time, when the Lord decides to take him up to heaven and then immediately throw him straight down to hell when that day comes, just to show him how nice it is before you want him to see what he's missing out on.
Because he would like it, all that gold.
Oh yeah, he'd appreciate it. But then he's gone. But like, just hope whoever's left after him will just let it go. Let's not Charlie Daniels this. Charlie Daniels tweeted this president, please.
You know it'd be Eric. He'd be in there having to do it.
It's made it worse. Yeah.
Just making it worse.
It's awful.